Judge Gideon won the battle against Midian with only 300 soldiers. Of course, this victory was not achieved by the power of Gideon or the 300 soldiers, but by the power of God. Through this war, God showed that only God could give salvation to his people. In this way, the Midianite army that had caused suffering to Israel disappeared. Instead, Israel had become strong enough to dominate Midian. At this point, it seemed like a time of peace would soon come to Israel. However, when you read Judges 8, it seems that something strange was happening in Israel. When Gideon followed God's word and destroyed the idols, he was a man who moved secretly at night because he was afraid of the people. He was that timid. Perhaps because of this, when the Ephraimites who had not participated in the war came to him later and protested why he had not called them to the war, he only said things that were pleasant to them and appeased them. However, during the process of pursuing and attacking Midian, he became completely different. He severely punished the people of Succoth and Penuel, who did not help him and his 300 warriors who were exhausted. He also did not hesitate at all to kill the leaders of Midian. Gideon now seems to have become a fearless person. The Israelites said to Gideon, "You and your son and your grandson, please rule over us." Then Gideon answered, "I will not rule over you. My son will not rule over you. Only God will rule over you." What a wonderful thing to say. When we see him say this, we can tell that he was a man who obeyed God's word. But then Gideon did something strange that God had never told him to do. He asked the Israelites who had asked him to rule over them for gold earrings. The people willingly gave Gideon a great amount of gold, more than 20 kilograms. Gideon made priestly garments with this gold and placed them in his city. The Israelites thought that the priestly garments Gideon made would protect them, so they began to worship them. In this way, another idol was created for the Israelites. After this, Gideon took many wives and had many children. Among his children, there was a son whose name was "My Father is King." In the end, Gideon was served by the people, and he and his sons pretended that they were kings over Israel. It would have been good if Gideon had remembered his fearful past and remembered that only God could rule over him and Israel, as he said. But unfortunately, Gideon was so intoxicated with power and material that he forgot who was helping him in Israel. Everyone, let us remember the story of Gideon once again. It would be good for us to remember that only God can rule over us.